So you've gotten to a breakup. It's not your fault, it's not what you wanted. You are unable to translate the way that you were being treated, terribly treated, horribly treated, to a conclusion of abuse. You thought the way you were treated was justified by a response of devotion, commitment, and trying harder, and just listening to the abuse. You're no good, you're causing my mental health, you're not providing, you're never here, you're no good with the children, you don't satisfy me. All these types of vehement, aggressive, deliberate forms of verbal and mental, and in some cases physical abuse. And a form of physical abuse, viewers, is the denial of intimacy. It's a severe form of abuse. I've seen it. I've seen what it does to people. And it can really cause a terrible amount of harm. And many, many millions of people are subjected to it. And on the other hand, there's sexual abuse where it's all gone too far. Within an intimate relationship. And so you've tried to remain devoted, you stayed committed, you kept doing all the things that you knew and believed that you were supposed to do. And you thought that would bring about change at some point. That's what you hoped for, and that's what you expected, and it was part of the discussion. But words, as valuable as they are and as meaningful as they are, fall to the ground if they're not followed through on by decisions and actions that prove the words to be real. And that's where disappointment comes in, when people promise or say, at the least, that they're going to do something, but they don't. There's a parable in the Bible which does reflect how this works, and Jesus shared it. A man had two sons, and he asked both of them whether they'd work in the vineyard. He needed help. The first son said, "Yes, I'll go. I'll be there." The second son said, "No, I won't go." Now, there's a way in which we can promise things just to say to the person that needs it the thing that they want to hear. We've got no intention of doing it, but we just say what they want to hear. This happens a lot of the time in dysfunctional relationships, and it causes trauma bonding, because the disappointment and the frustration and infuriation that comes with that causes a trauma bond and holds the person in a toxic relationship. So there's people that will say things to us, giving us the opinion that they're going to be there when we need them, or that they would be there, but then they're not. Now, on the other hand, there's people that will say, "Look, no, I'm not going to be there," right? And in a lot of cases, no, they're not going to be there. But in the case of this parable, the one that said he wasn't going to be there actually turned up and helped his father. So on the one hand, the one that didn't want to go said, no, I don't want to go, and was honest, as bad as that looked and as shameful as that looked. The other one said, yeah, I'll be there, and with all the hope and organisation that comes with that. But he didn't turn up. Yet the one that said he wouldn't be there, in his honesty, was able to change his mind, as bad as it looked, to say he wouldn't be there. He was honest. He was able to change his mind and come and help his father. So you can see, on the one hand, the danger of falling for the narrative that people use when they say things that they think we want to hear, but are never going to back it up. And then on the other hand, there's the people who are just blatantly honest and rebellious and say no, but then by way of conscience are able to change their mind and actually turn up to do the right thing for the thing that they said they didn't want to. So sometimes it's better, well, obviously from this parable, it's better just to be shamefully honest, if you have to be, than deceitfully saying the things that they think the person wants to hear. That's the reality of it. And this happens micro-incrementally in relationships. People just say and do what they think the other person wants to hear and seen done. But when push comes to shove, when the actual problems need to be fixed and resolved, they don't have the resolve inside them because they never had the actuality. Their heart wasn't in what they were saying. They were empty words. And we've all heard that saying, empty words, idle words. And Jesus said, idle words that we speak are consequential. Now I was in a relationship with a woman. Her son began to have a narcissistic breakdown because she shifted her focus from him to an intimate relationship. That didn't suit him. I said I'll have a talk with him. I had a talk with him that went completely wrong and awry, at least for him. And they tried to accuse me of things that I had no mind of or willingness to do. It was just a complete sham. And the woman did nothing about it. She just sat on the sideline. This is the sort of idleness that I'm talking about. It's like a political idleness where the politician will promise to do all these things to get your vote, but then when push comes to shove, they don't carry any of it out. Well, that's what I was faced with here. So it ruined the relationship. Ultimately, it ruined the relationship. I wasn't going to hang around for what the end result of that was going to be. And so I left. Sometime later. So idle words are something that we will be accountable for. Every idle word we speak. And so therefore it's better for us to be blatantly honest. Come on, mate. Because when you're blatantly honest, even if it's not what the other person wants to hear, then at least you have the honesty in the situation to be able to change your mind. People that are dishonest, they go into fear, they disappear, they go into guilt, shame and all these other things, and they hermitize. They become hermits. They don't want to face their idle words and what they've caused. They go into shame, and so they withdraw. And that's what happens a lot of the time at the point of a breakup. When the person realizes that they've been exposed, they haven't been functioning fairly in the relationship. There's been nothing fair about the way they've treated the other person or acted or behaved. And ultimately it's the shame and guilt of those actions or inactions that cause them to go away. They go away. They go to the next person and try their luck there. The same for you as well. You just don't want to stay in a situation that is not prosperous mentally, physically, financially, and all the other expected empowering ways in which we move forward in life through a happy, healthy relationship.